Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be deep diving into a topic that is affecting millions of Americans right now, and it's how to deal with debt collectors who bought your old debt. If you've ever received one of those intimidating, confusing letters from a debt collector demanding payment or any calls demanding payments, this video is for you because I'm going to break down what are your rights, how to respond, and how to protect yourself. So let's get right into it. Understanding what happens when your debt is sold. When a creditor charges off a debt, they often sell it to third-party debt collectors for pennies on the dollar. These debt buyers own the debt and they will try to collect the full amount plus any interest and fees. Because they bought the debt doesn't mean you automatically owe them. They have to prove a few things. So now, knowing your rights under the FDCPA, the Fair Debt Collectors Practices Act. Under the Fair Debt Collectors Practices Act, debt collectors cannot harass or threaten you. They must send you a written notice within 5 days of the first contact with you. They have to validate the debt if you request it within 30 days. Sometimes it could take 45 days. There's a little bit of leeway in that. You have a right to dispute any or all of the debt and demand validation in writing from the debt collector. They cannot just continue stating that you owe the debt, and they have to prove 100% the amount that they're claiming that you owe. Okay, let's get into how to respond. Let's all understand that you do not want to ignore debt collection letters. And then we're going to talk about a dispute strategy that you can utilize to get this information off of your credit report. So now, first, when you get a debt collection letter, respond in writing within 30 days. If you don't respond within 30 days, you are actually saying yes to the debt, and that will allow them to place that information on your credit reports. The next thing you want to do is you want to request debt validation. Ask them to prove how they got the debt, bill of sale, all of the conformity documents. You want them to prove that the amount that they're trying to come after you is 100% accurate. You need to make sure that the debt is within the statute of limitations for your state for them to be able to collect. And then you need to send that letter certified mail, and need to keep a copy of that receipt just in case they try to continue to take you to court and they disregard your debt validation request. You're going to be a step ahead of them on being able to win your case if they take you to court. So now, checking your state statute of limitations. This is something that is very confusing to people because there's a statute of limitations to collect on a debt, and this is a charged off debt that has not become a judgment. So that's the first misconception that a lot of people have. If it's a judgment, that's a 20-year statute of limitation. But if it's not a judgment, from the date of your last payment, look at your statute of limitations to collect debt in your state, and it'll have contract law, promissory note, and it'll have oral agreements, and it'll have open-end accounts like credit cards. Statute of limitations could be different pertaining to the type of debt it is for your state. Some of them are the same across the board. If it's past that time frame, all you have to do is notify them that they attempted to collect a debt that's past the legal statute of limitations to collect. Also, understand that when it says time barred debt means that they cannot they don't have any legal options to be able to collect on it. So statute of limitations and time barred means the same thing. I think that they came up with time barred because a lot of people don't understand what that means. But in the Fair Debt Collectors Practices Act, it says time barred debt, that they cannot take any legal action. But if you believe you have a moral obligation to pay, you can pay all of it or you can pay some of it. So now, if it is past the legal statute of limitations to collect, you do not need to ask for a debt validation. You need to notify them that the debt is past the legal statute of limitations to collect, and that you want them to cease all contact and collection activities for that debt. The next thing is, be careful. Don't allow them to restart the clock by making a payment or even promising to pay something on that debt that is past the legal statute of limitations. In some states, just making a promise to pay can reset the time frame. in most states, you have to make some sort of payment or sign some sort of agreement. So stay away from doing all of that. Just stick with making them prove everything about the debt, amount, documents, all of that stuff. Don't fall into the trap unless you know 100% and you're ready to move forward. And maybe they're threatening some type of court action and they've taken you to court and you just don't want to go through that whole process. Maybe you could cut a deal. But if not, you're unsure, don't do anything until you're sure and you make that decision for yourself. The next thing is don't admit the debt to the debt or make any partial payments until you confirm your legal position. And what I mean by legal position is that they've got the contracts, they got your signature, they got the records of all of the statements and everything to prove how that amount that they're claiming that you owe equals what they're claiming that you owe. So if they don't do that, you're still in a good leverage position to not have to worry about them potentially moving forward because you've taken proactive measures to make sure that they have all of their documents to even be able to come and do anything to collect on that debt. Now, always communicate in writing because you don't want to just do this by phone. Even though they're supposed to record all the calls, stuff gets erased. That stuff that's in their hands. If you send it to them in writing, certified mail, you know someone in that office got it, and you can always have a copy of what you sent. Keep records of all of your communications. If you start to communicate with them on the phone, you need to write down all the dates and times and the agent that you spoke with so they can't try to say one thing, you had a deal, and then come back with another agent saying that there is no deal. Consider working with a credit expert, especially or an attorney if you're sued, or working with our company if you happen to get sued, because we can help you through that process too. Also, do not panic. That's the number one thing, is that they want people to panic, get emotional, because what usually happens when people panic and get emotional is they get paralyzed. They don't understand that they just have to calm down and look at all of the different options that are available to them. So hope that helps you out. If you need help with your credit, please visit us at thecreditrepairshop.com. Watch video What Makes Us Different so you can see my 8-point validation process, my 2-phase settlement process, and we also include debt collector debt validations with our credit repair services. We don't just dispute to the bureaus inaccurate information. We also go to those furnishers of that information. It's very important to have a two-pronged attack when you're looking at repairing your credit. If you need your credit reports and scores, go to the website your3scores.com to grab your TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian credit reports and all 3 scores. If you have debt collectors coming after you, grab my 3-pack of letters. And inside of that 3-pack of letters, I have a statute of limitations letter, debt validation letter, and a cease and desist collection activities letter. You can also, if you have a debt collector coming after you for a debt that's not past the legal statute of limitations to collect, you can go to summonsmaster.com and you can upload your debt collection letter, and it will create what I call an exclusive certified debt validation letter, one of the strongest ones I've ever created to stop debt collectors from coming after you. Even if they have the documents, they're going to know there's going to be an uphill battle, and they may not choose to come after you. They'll go after people. That's going to be a lot easier. Thank you for your time. Subscribe to the channel. Post your questions and comments. This is Stephen A. Williams, President and founder of thecreditrepairshop.com.